Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to New Jersey Motorsports Park on this Sunday as we get ready for Formula Regional Americas. Ralph Shaheen with you, and joining me in the booth for this one is going to be my old buddy Ben Sissel. Good to have you back, Ben. You ready to go for a little open wheel racing?
Oh, yeah, it's an honor to be in here. Usually I'm in pit lane for this, but really looking forward to it. I tell you what, Ralph, I've been involved with this group for about, I think, maybe 5 or 6 seasons. This is the closest championships we've had, I think, in all 3 categories. It's been unbelievable. But this FR championship, where they can win a $100,000 check after they win this championship, this one, there is no clear winner, as we're a little bit more than midway through the season.
And that's the thing. If you win the Ligier Junior Formula Championship, you get a full ride the next season. In F4, you win the F4 championship, you get to go to this one, Formula Regional Americas. Win this, and as you pointed out, a $100,000 check to take your career anywhere you want it to go, whether you want to go to Indy next or over to Europe to chase Formula One, prototype racing, whatever it might be. And when you talk to the drivers who compete in this series about that, boy, their eyes light up.
Yeah, we want everybody to be able to reach their motorsports dreams.
And we've had drivers do that out of this category too, Ben.
Yeah, Kyle Kirkwood, Kiffin Simpson. We've had a lot of drivers move to wherever they feel comfortable.
And we're getting ready for a standing start here. Cars are on line. Here come the revs. And off they go.
Attiello, the only one, didn't get off to a good start, but that was a good start.
Good and clean for now as we head to turn 1. This is where it gets a little tricky. The 55 is Nicholas Ambiato out front, the winner yesterday. And is that Jet Bowling getting up and around the outside?
Yeah.
Who was very quick in qualifying, sat on the pole for yesterday. But boy, he had a rough outing, didn't he? Oh, and there's the 07 of Attiello.
Yeah, and that will probably, I'm sure Scott is looking at that, but that will probably bring out double yellows unless they can get them refired. But right now, they're going. Bruno Ribeiro, who is actually yesterday's winner, a tech infraction came through. So Bruno Ribeiro was yesterday's winner. Ambiato crossed the finish line, but they saw something in some of the videos, I think, they penalized him. So Bruno Ribeiro won yesterday's race. And then there's Jet Bowling just in front, and then Nicholas Ambiato from Chile is the leader right now.
Yeah, Ambiato out front in that 55 with backing from Velux USA. Of course, you were talking about Scott. That's Scott Goodyear, the race director for the series.
You can see they're getting the yellows now, so they're slowing down. That's unfortunate. Luckily, Attiello was the last car, and it looks like he just stalled. Everybody else got off very cleanly as they're coming through here. And hopefully Anthony can get fired back up to rejoin. That's the 07, but we've got Nicholas Ambiato out front. Jet Bowling just behind, and Bruno Ribeiro. Trying to see who that is. That looks like Titus Sherlock behind. My scoring isn't working right now, but I think that's Titus Sherlock there behind him. Then Brady Golan, Barrett Wolf, then I think James Lawley, and not sure where Pollock is, who joined you in the booth for the JFC race. I'm not seeing him out there, but let's see if we can get a good shot here at New Jersey Motorsports Park. We've had great weather yesterday and today.
Looks like Pollock is back in 8th place right now.
Okay. There he is, yeah.
There he is, the blue and white.
And then Connor Roberts. So James Lawley is in 9th. Connor Roberts is in 7th. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Behind that beautiful Corvette here, pace car.
Ribeiro grabbed the checkered flag twice in Mid-Ohio. Leads the point standings. And Beato had 8 podiums in the 11 rounds completed coming into New Jersey. 3 wins as well, and was only 3 points behind Ribeiro before the weekend got started.
This has been my favorite Formula Regional America's United States Championship for that reason. The last couple of years, we've come into this race with a huge championship lead, like with a Patrick Woods-Toth or a Callum Hedge or a Raul Hyman. This is the first time that it's just kind of these top 4 just keep going back and forth. And early in the season, Titus Sherlock just seemed to just have the car, the combination.
Yeah.
And then he had some really bad luck at Mid-Ohio and in yesterday's race. So he's now fallen back to 4th. I don't have the current points, but he was 4th before yesterday's race.
He sure looked early on like he was going to be the guy. Well, they're still dealing with getting Attiello's car off the track. So let's go ahead and step away from New Jersey Motorsports Park for a quick, brief break. And we will be back for the restart after this.
Architecture is about everything. We change the environment. We are changing how people live in the environment today. So we basically put our fingerprint on the future of what the United States looks like. My overall business philosophy is that I'm engaged with my company from top to bottom. And I think the racing world and helping out the next generation and younger drivers is a passion of mine, and it's getting stronger and stronger every year. With that, that's why I want to be involved.
How good is this? Look at this view from Losowski.
It brings all my fans, it brings the audience into the car with me.
Speed turn, 140 mile an hour entry speeds.
The quickest and most efficient way for me to get information to my drivers is from using the VBox HD2 system.
Said. One of the ways you overtake here at Sebring is really good in the braking zone, like this one right here.
Both go around. There's the green. We are back and at it. Watch this. Oh, look out, Miller, look
Well, the Corvette pace car, the C8, is still out there. So coming now out onto the front straightaway. And it looks like we're going around again since the pace car is still on the track.
Yeah,
you see the safety crew just to the left there, getting Attiello's car out of the way.
But I'm hearing we're expecting to go to green here. Next lap once they get Anthony's car in. Unfortunately for Anthony Attiello, I don't know, seemed like he had a mechanical. He was able to pull around in the formation lap and then just couldn't get it fired. It's a beautiful car.
So we're talking about the points coming into the weekend, Ben. Let's take a look at them. Again, this was after the last round of competition, not as of yesterday.
But look at that top 4.
I mean, it's super close, right? And as crazy as things have been, you could easily move any one of those guys into a championship contending position.
Yeah, and I've been very impressed with Golan this year. Stoddy, who isn't here this weekend, he lives in Perth, Australia. So, you know, different conditions. Even with Quimby, same thing from Australia. He gave up just a couple of, ran out of funding basically just a couple of weeks ago. And then Benovitz, you know, he runs the Hendrick Motorsports down in Florida. So
Car dealership.
Yeah, I feel like he, you know, that's his priority. This racing thing is for fun.
Yeah.
But these top 4, they have been neck and neck this whole time. And Ribeiro and Ambiato and Bowling are all 3 teammates. So they're sharing data after each race and sharing in-car video together, but also competing.
What they won't be sharing is that $100,000 check.
I doubt it. I doubt it. Maybe the winner will take them out to Applebee's or something, you know.
It's like a wheel came off of the car there.
It does, yeah.
Maybe it wasn't fully attached or something. I'm not sure.
But this is my favorite part, where, you know, they can't really go until, I think, just before the bridge.
Yep.
So what's he going to do? Is he going to try to let the pace car go and then take off when they're not expecting it? Is he going to really pack them down and try to restart in first gear? Because from the bridge to turn 1, the draft is so important.
Oh, it's everything.
I would probably want to be in Jet Bowling's seat right now and not the leader, Ambiato.
I think that's probably a pretty good call. And Jet really needs to have a great day here today to keep himself in the thick of this battle for that $100,000 check.
Yeah, but Jet Bowling in that Bullhorn car, he's been very fast here.
It's the second car in line, blue and orange. There they go, looking for the green. There it is, and we are racing once again here in New Jersey. Bowling sweeps way to the inside with Ribeiro right on his tail. Ribeiro now looks to the middle, but it's going to be Ambiato first one to turn 1. Now Ribeiro will have the inside at 2, and we'll have a change for second.
That was a great over-under. 3 teammates leading the restart. I wonder if Kiwi Motorsport was telling them how to do this, but then they've got Titus Sherlock right behind them coming through 3A, 3B.
Sherlock in that 31 out of Prosper, Texas. That's a Crosslink Motorsports entry.
He is a very fast, determined driver. And I was expecting him to be more in the 1 and 2 range in the championship. He's just had some bad luck. Not his own bad luck, just that racing luck that sometimes happens.
In the top 3 of Ambiato and Ribeiro and Bowling are all driving Kiwi Motorsports entries.
Yeah, but look at Golan. Barrett Wolf going at it there.
Yep, Brady Golan out of Austin, Texas. Tony Drive Development entry.
There. Back at turn 11. Somebody went off. Sorry, Ralph.
Here comes Ambiato back down the front straightaway. It's a smoker now. Back up the front straightaway here. Heavy, heavy smoke. Didn't catch the number.
I think that was Barrett Wolf that spun and then came through smoking. And the number 13 car.
Yep, Barrett was running in 9th. Driver out of Las Vegas, competing for Crosslink. Make-A-Wish back car. Axiom Cyber and Cool Inc. helping him out.
So this is the next group of cars, and if they somewhat work together, they might be able to catch.
Yeah, that's Golan, Robertson, Lawley, right? That's 5th, 6th, and 7th. With Pollock behind that.
Roberts is in this front 5. He's the tail end of this front 5. And then you've got Connor Roberts and James Lawley. I was speaking to Connor Roberts yesterday after Podium. He's so tall, he's taller than I am. He has to wear OMP knee pads.
Yeah. Ambiato down the front straightaway again. And Ribeiro's right there, Ben. He's only 0.6 of a second behind.
Very impressed with Ribeiro this year. He's carried himself very well. He's always kind of stayed in the hunt.
And he's got former Formula One and IndyCar driver Roberto Moreno working with him, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Helping with the driver coach.
I'm wondering what that piece of black is there on the track that we're seeing. I'm not sure what that is. And I don't know if race control's seeing that, but that's not normal.
Ribeiro out of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil.
Barrett Wolf has lost his engine cover off of his car. So that might be what we're seeing there.
It could very well be.
Might be the underside of the engine cover.
He had breakout moments here in New Jersey in F4 last year. Barrett scored his first podiums. The pair of third place finishes here.
I think it looks like, judging by the car's body language, that Bruno's pretty happy just to stay in the draft, try to keep Nicholas.
Yeah, he picked up a 10th on that last lap.
Yeah, I do believe that's an engine cover there.
And we have 15 minutes of racing yet to go here. This is round 13 for Formula Regional Americas.
This is really heating up. We got Titus behind Jet. These were teammates last year. Jet Bowling running with the Bullhorn car, doing very well, staying in the hunt. And then Ambiato from Chile and Ribeiro from Brazil.
Sherlock won here last year, and he has a 2023 F4 US victory here at the circuit as well. And he comes into the weekend with the most victories on the season with 4. As you pointed out, early on in the year, he seemed like
he dominated.
Go ahead and put my name on the check, and I'll see you guys at Barber.
Yeah, I would have thought that as well. But just a reminder, this is the Formula Regional Americas United States Championship. So that's North, South, and Central America. A lot of our drivers, a lot of the paddock are Spanish or Portuguese speaking. A lot of the South American drivers want to come up here and race in the North American tracks. Kind of, you know, we just have so many bucket list tracks.
Yeah.
And we hit a lot of those bucket list tracks on our season. Knowing Ribeiro, I would say Ambiato's pushing it a little bit, and Ribeiro's just kind of staying back, staying in striking distance, keeping those hand-cooked tires beneath him, and he's going to want to make a move here in the next couple of laps.
It's interesting because Ribeiro has gained another 10th on that last lap again, so whether he's not pushing as hard and just driving smoother, making less little mistakes, not sure, but this time across the line, it pretty much, he lost 2 tenths.
And what's funny is these front 4 are the front 4 in our championship. So if it stays like this really in any order, it doesn't make a huge change to the championship. If you want to make huge strides in a championship, you need one of your competitors to fall off or go to the back or something like that. I will say Ambiato's running a clean looking lap. Like he isn't.
What he did yesterday too, right?
Yeah. Very talented driver.
He's got 0.6 of a second over Ribeiro.
I will be surprised, Ralph, if we're not talking about these top 4 in this championship in the next couple of years in other series.
I would think you're probably right. They're certainly going to get a look. So many things, of course, have to come together. They're showing all the right skills.
So Barrett is missing his engine cover. The car gets very light there at the top of the hill, and if you have too much input, it can really mess you up, setting yourself up for these little S's here of 3A, 3B. I really like the look of these Ligier FR cars, don't you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. They look like they're bigger brothers in Formula One, if you will. Not identical, but you can see the family resemblance.
Yeah. This is going to be hairy. Now they got to get around Barrett. Look at that. Barrett gets over for them.
Smart move.
Great sportsman. He knows this isn't, he's not in this race anymore, but he's trying to get as many points as he can, but not get in the middle of this battle. We appreciate that.
These guys are going to fight for another 10 minutes here. This is their last race of the weekend, Ben. After this, they'll start shifting the focus to Canadian Tire Motorsports Park.
Yeah.
Labor Day weekend.
Another bucket list track. We'll have about 30,000 spectators there, running with the Pinty Series, which is kind of Canada's NASCAR series, and the Trans Am Series as well. But a lot of our drivers, that was kind of a favorite on the calendar last year. Scott Goodyear, you know, being from that area, was talking about it, but I absolutely loved it.
It's a great track, great facility.
Totally opposite track from this track.
Yeah, and those fans up there love their open wheel racing.
They sure do.
Be a fun time just outside of Toronto.
Ralph, I'm not seeing a clear fastest car. Ribeiro can kind of close the gap a little bit in certain places. Then Ambiato can kind of pull a gap in certain places.
Yeah, Ribeiro's been only making up hundredths of a second here the last couple of laps. He's got to do better than that with 9.5 minutes to go.
But I'm also not seeing any rear ends of cars breaking away. They look very smooth and controlled.
Yeah, it looks like everybody's been keeping their hand-cooked tires in pretty good shape. Let's see what the gap is this time. Ribeiro picks up a 10th.
Ambiato not doing anything to break the draft, maybe thinking the gap is okay. Golan falling back from Titus Sherlock just a little bit. I do like that bright helmet of Titus Sherlock. Isn't he?
Yeah, it sure looks like, I was just going to say, it looks like Ribeiro's picking up the pace a little bit here.
He might have been hanging back there and kind of saving his tires a little bit.
Yeah. Tell you what, Bowling not far behind.
Really appreciate all the work the corner marshals, the staff, the safety crew have done here at New Jersey Motorsports Park this weekend. Love coming here, and they've given us some great weather as well. But now the gap has increased a little bit.
Yeah, it's that accordion effect. Well, he actually gained a 10th, man. Closing in on 7.5 minutes remaining. Ambiato, Ribeiro, Bowling, Sherlock, and Golan the top 5. Roberts, Lawley, Pollock, and Wolf rounding out the field. Real easy to mess up a line through here, and then you're far behind and catching it, heading onto that front straightaway.
So much discipline there in that section because it's a big radius carousel to the right, then a tiny radius carousel to the left. It also is putting the oil on different sides of the engine oil pan, you know, moving fluids around in the car inside the fuel cell. It can really throw the cars off balance because those are pretty high speed carousels as well. None of the drivers up front seem to be really pushing. I'm not seeing a lot of oversteer or understeer. I'm not seeing the rear ends break out. I'm not seeing any tire smoke from over braking.
If you're going to see it, it's going to come soon because you got 6.5 minutes to get it done. So the pressure is on now.
And in age, yes, these drivers, you know, are still teenagers, low 20s, but on track, their maturity level, how they carry themselves, are true professionals. And that's what I love about this ladder series that Scott Goodyear and his team have developed here is, you know, we want the 14-year-olds to be able to, you know, be 14-year-olds, but act professionally on the track. And then these drivers are ready to go right into IndyCar, IMSA, wherever they want to go from a professional development standpoint in every area. Yeah.
All right, Ribeiro right on him now. Here he goes, looking inside. And Beato didn't really even get a chance to defend. He just beats him to the corner.
I think that was Ribeiro playing chess. Just, I'm here. I want you to look in your mirror.
Ribeiro picked up 2/10 on that last lap. Now he's picking up the pace. 5 minutes to go.
So again, Ribeiro was yesterday's winner. And Beato crossed the finish line before him, but because of some infractions, Ribeiro was deemed the winner. Just a little bit later on the brakes there is Ribeiro, but Beato seems to be smoother for this next section. I don't know, Ralph. They both look very strong. I'm really impressed with how Nicolas Ambiato is composing himself up front. He's not letting anything shake him.
No, he's not, and he's gaining time there. He picked up 3/10 that lap, and Ribeiro just is running out of time then because he gains a little, then loses a little, and he's got to get right on him to even make a challenge, and it might take a lap or two to complete it. And with 4 minutes to go, you're looking at
but at this
2-3 laps maybe.
Being ahead in the championship, you might be just as happy if you feel like you don't have it.
Yeah,
you shouldn't take it. And
no,
I think
minimize your damage, right?
Because he's not going to do anything to jeopardize his points lead at this point. So he will be happy finishing second. Now, Ambiato would love for Bruno to fall back to 4th, 5th, or 6th, I'm sure.
And remember, coming into the week, Ambiato was second by just 3 points. So this will definitely help and put a lot of pressure on when they head to Canada next.
Which is such a difficult circuit. Difficult for the drivers, but also it's a tough track on your equipment.
Yeah.
And there are some drivers in this field that raced CTMP last year and some who didn't. And I just feel like that's one of those tracks that any kind of seat time that you have there will help you out immensely.
It's going to be a big advantage for sure. Titus Sherlock holding down 4th. Four-time winner in 2025.
What I'm seeing right now is 2 very disciplined riders at the top here with Ambiato and Ribeiro. Now Ribeiro, I think he's for championship. If he doesn't have it, if he doesn't have a way to probably get around at 1, he's happy there, but he's got to watch out for Jet Bowling because Jet's back there closing the gap as well.
Yeah. And a little bobble. And Bowling will be on him. Looks like we're going around again before we get the white flag.
Bullhorn.
Yeah, and Ribeiro's hanging there at 6/10 back. Well, I thought Bowling was going to be the story yesterday. He sure was throughout qualifying and practice. Once the race got underway, it went out the window in a hurry. And these guys are going to race Canadian Tire, and they're also going to run at VIR and Barber to wrap up their season.
I think any open-wheel driver would put Barber on their big bucket list. You know, it's just such a great track. If you like motorcycles at all, it's the track. But, yeah, for this group, all these formula groups, I think they are going to love Barber.
Yep. I would agree. Inside of a minute to go, so they'll be looking at the white flag. It's out at the starter stand. There it is. Ribeiro looking inside, just filling the mirrors up. He picked up 2/10, but is it too little too late?
I think right there he was just trying to get Ambiato to look in his right mirror just long enough to miss his braking zone. Zones. Just trying to make him. It's a lot easier to be in Bruno Ribeiro's position than it is Ambiato, because all Ambiato can do is just hit his marks. And Bruno can kind of judge what he's doing against the other car.
Yep.
Bruno's closed the gap. There's Pollock.
Oh, what a shame. Right at the end.
So here they come to the checkered flag, Ralph.
Do the final bends. Once you come through here, you're pretty much putting the foot to the floor. And hanging on for one more blast down the front straightaway into the checkers. Here they come. There's the checker flag waving. Nicholas Ambiato wins, with Bruno Ribeiro finishing second, and Jet Bowling. Jet Bowling's going to finish third. Sherlock will get fourth, and Brady Golan will finish fifth. So the honors in round 13 of Formula Regional Americas to Nicholas Ambiato, driver out of Santiago, Chile, in the Kiwi Motorsports Hilux USA backed car, will be heading to victory lane. Ben's on his way there as well to talk to our winner. There's the results. Ambiato, Ribeiro, Bowling, Sherlock, and Golan. First five. Roberts, Lawley, Pollock, Wolf, and Anthony Attiello didn't even get off the start. Finish up the field of 10. Field on their cool down lap. Cars rolling past us here in our broadcast booth. It's first floor windows. You see in that 3-story building there on your left. Victory circle just to the right of the building, and that's where Bruno Ribeiro and Nicholas Ambiato are headed. Ribeiro is there. Here comes Ambiato and Jet Bowling. There he is, Chilean flag. And he's out of the car. Well, let's head down there and catch up with Ben, who's got the winner.
Well, Nicolas Ambiado from Santiago, Chile, getting water from his friend Clemente Huerta, also from Chile. That was as close to a flawless race as I've ever seen. How was it out there for you?
Yeah, that's so close, but yeah, I dominated all the race. I don't have that pressure with how the race in Ohio. No, for me, it's very easy to take a good lap, and yeah, it's so relaxed for me, win the race, and yeah, thank you.
Nice. A lot of comments. Vamos, Nicolas. So speak to our Spanish-speaking fans out there.
Bueno, agradecer a todos los que en esta carrera. Estuvo media fome, sí, estuvo un poco fácil, pero bueno, así son las carreras. Hay carreras buenas, carreras malas, y quiero agradecer a todos los que me han estado apoyando durante este fin de semana. Muchas gracias.
Thanks. Well, congratulations out there. Our winner, Nicolas Ambiado. We're about to start Victory Circle here. Ralph, I'm going to send it to you, the booth, real quick.
Okay, Ben, thank you. Congratulations to Nicolas Ambiado. And to our second place finisher, Bruno Ribeiro. Third place, Jet Bowling. We're going to take a quick break. We will be back here to New Jersey Motorsports Park for more great racing action coming your way here on this Sunday afternoon. Stay with us.
Rev up and get ready for race day with Mission Foods. The world's best racers and tastiest products come together to make every race delicious. Fully loaded tacos, fast wraps, piled high nachos. Whatever you crave, Mission will help you be race ready with easy to make recipes that will take your race day to the finish line. Keep your racing delicious and enjoy all the mouth-watering action. Brought to you by Mission Foods. Too fast, too tasty.
Okay, so pretend this is your race car. It's on the trailer, and you have an accident. Ouch! At least your truck's insurance will pay for another one? Yeah, not so fast. Standard insurance won't replace your race car, whether it's in the trailer, in the paddock, in the garage, or the repair shop. But at Hagerty, we can protect it for what it's really worth anytime it's off the track. No matter what or where you race, offer less than a set of race tires. Hagerty, let's drive together.
What does it mean to be built with Summit? It means you're hitting the autocross, drag strip, road course, trail, dirt, or open road with confidence. Because built with Summit means you're using parts from the top names in performance. Priced to make your project affordable. And it's all backed by trusted tech expertise and blazing fast shipping. Summit Racing Equipment. Let's build it together. SummitRacing.com.
I'm down here with Kiwi Motorsport, and Jet Bowling has joined us here. And I'm talking to Jet because we're here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. That is just like so cool in itself. But you had a great weekend here last year. What are your expectations here when the lights go out?
Yeah, huge expectations. Yeah, it's my best weekend. It was my first podium in FIA series, so high expectations. We're looking for a win.
Looking for a win. Now, we've got 3 races here this weekend with the Formula Regional America's U.S. Championship here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. But with the points as they are, about a quarter to 30% through the season, to be honest, you're a little bit lower than I was expecting. So you've basically got to be on the podium every race here.
Yeah, we've had some pretty bad luck with mechanical stuff. You know, I was on pole in Road America, and then the car failed, so I had a red flag, so I moved to second. We got the pre-grid and the fuel dumped on me, so started from pit lane. So that was a big points loss, but yeah, we pretty much need perfection here on out.
Nice. Now, Helmick Farms, Bullhorn, they're on the side of your car. Tell us what these sponsors mean to you here.
Yeah, so, you know, some of them are family friends. Most of them are actually, and so I think that's a great, representation of the team and, what I'm behind. I love having family friends on the car. It shows all these people that are watching races. They're texting me before and after races. It's really nice to see that.
Now, you've got 48 points right now. Your old teammate and friend Titus Sherlock is at the sharp end of the points. You've got to get there. I know that you guys have a long history together and a good friendship. But, this is racing. You're competitive, so you're friends off of the track. But that's a lot of pressure on you. Do you feel the weight on your shoulders right now?
Yeah, there's definitely some added pressure, with how the season's gone. But there's not a doubt in my mind I'm the fastest guy. We have the fastest car, so there's not a doubt we can't do it. We just need a bit of lady luck to be with us.
Nice. Well, let's look for Jet Bowling in the number 22 with Formula Regional Americas hopefully on the top step or one of the steps of the podium this weekend here at IMS. I'm here at Kiwi Motorsport, starting the 2025 season. A lot has happened. Last year, it was Crosslink Kiwi. They had a ton of cars, always finishing on the podium, and honestly, it became a little bit too big to manage for both of the teams. Also for the series, it was hard to encourage other new teams to come into the series with such a huge behemoth of Crosslink Kiwi absolutely dominating some of the classes last year in FR and F4. So what has happened in the offseason, both teams agreed to split up, and it was an amicable split. I totally love it as a series because it gives a better opportunity for new teams to come in, for new drivers to feel more comfortable to come in, that there isn't just this huge team and then a couple of other little teams. So we've got now, there's a Crosslink team and a Kiwi Motorsport team.
It's honestly, I like it a bit more. Crosslink Kiwi had such a domination over the last years. It was kind of the team's championship was just kind of in the up for grabs, but now it's it's there and it's hard, and it just adds a bit more competition between me and my friends.
Yeah, so the split with Crosslink and Kiwi Motorsports, I think it's good because then it puts more teams on the map, not just like Crosslink Kiwi Motorsports like last year. So it's kind of nice that we split, more competition in a way.
But something else that has happened with Kiwi Motorsports specifically, they've had a long relationship with Chip Ganassi Racing. Chip Ganassi Racing, along with Alex Palou's dad in Spain, they wanted to start a driver development program for Chip Ganassi's teams in IndyCar and his other series. So now you're going to see Chip Ganassi on the Kiwi Motorsport cars on their uniforms to work with this team, to work with the drivers, to develop the drivers, to move up into IndyCar and anywhere Chip Ganassi Racing feels comfortable. But now, as you can see, Crosslink Motorsports, also a very strong team this year. But one of the things that I'm going to find very interesting to watch, so last year Jet Bowling and Titus Sherlock, when it was Crosslink Kiwi together, they finished 3rd and 4th in the championships. Titus is over here looking very strong. Jet Bowling is over there with Kiwi Motorsports. So we're going to see what happens and follow along. Just like in any motorsports, there's a ton of camaraderie in the paddock. The two teams are still going to help each other out. If anything happens, they're going to work together to work out any of the gremlins, because all anybody wants in this paddock is for everybody to do well, to bring in more drivers, to bring in more teams, and make this thing really grow.
my name is Mo Murray with Ligier Automotive North America, and we build race cars. I'm going to tell you about 3 types of race cars that race as the open wheel series at Pirella Motorsports. We have the newly renamed Ligier JFC Junior Formula Championship. We have F4 US, the FIA F4 Championship for the US, and we have Formula Regional Americas, the next level up from F4, covering all of the Americas. Let's go have a look at the cars. This car we're looking at here is the Ligier JFC car, newly renamed series, the Junior Formula Challenge. It's originally the Gen 1 F4 car, Ligier JS F416, raced in the US in F4 from 2016 all the way through 2023. This car is similar to the others in that it has a full carbon tub, aluminum wing on this one, steel wishbones and suspension components, carbon crash structures front and back. Drivers in this series can race from the age of 14 years of age, which is great for drivers coming out of karting. It's a great opportunity for drivers to step into the world of car racing initially. This one has the same Honda engine as the Formula Regional car, except the Regional car, of course, has a turbocharger. This makes about 180 horsepower. Very mild aero in this car, not a lot of aero help for the drivers. But the big difference with this car visually, to look at this car, is, of course, there's no halo. Now, the halo was developed and conceived long after this car was invented, and so you cannot retrofit a halo onto these because of the structure of the tub. So that's how you can tell this car on track. It's older. It fully meets FIA safety standards from 2016 when it was born, but that did not include a halo. The new F4 and the Formula Regional car, of course, are halo cars, or as we call halo cars. Still a great platform for young drivers to step away from karting and into car racing as their first step. So F4 US, a very important championship in driver development, all around the world actually F4, but in the US a very important series for drivers looking to advance their way up the motorsports ladder. This is the latest F4 US car. It's called a Ligier JSF 422. Like the other cars, has a carbon fiber tub, comes from Ligier's sister company HB Composites, carbon fiber nose box and rear crash structure. This one has the halo we talked about, so the halo's a FIA mandated safety device that stops intrusion into the helmet area, keeping drivers safe. V4 pushrod engine in the back of it, 1.6 litre, about 180 horsepower. Drivers in this car can race at 15 years of age, which is great for young drivers, again, climbing the ladder, karting, Ligier JFC, F4, and then all the way up to Formula Regional. Like I mentioned, V4 pushrod engine making about 180 horsepower, SEDEV gearbox, again 6-speed sequential gearbox, operated of course with paddles on the steering wheel. Again, mild aero on this, a little more than the JFC car, but not as much as a Formula Regional car. This car will do, and it's geared at a big racetrack like Road America or someplace like that, about 152 miles an hour, which when there's a 15-year-old behind the wheel that's a big boy car. And these cars are very competitive. All around the world, drivers look to F4 in order to begin their journey up the motorsports ladder, and this is the US version of it, the Ligier JSF 422. So let's meet the Ligier JSF 318, Ligier's Formula Regional Americas car. This car is powered by a Honda turbocharged engine. It's essentially the same engine as the JFC car, but this one has a turbocharger, makes about 303 horsepower. It's prepared by Mountoon, great partners in the series, but originally was a Honda engine. SEDEV gearbox, 6-speed sequential gearbox, paddle shifters, of course, for all of these. Plenty of aero help on this. Great view of the top side of the diffuser on the back of this. Carbon wings front and rear on this car. This car has a full carbon tub, which most race cars have these days. This carbon tub is made at HB Composites in Italy, a Ligier company. And of course, this car includes a halo, FIA safety device mandated for all cars built from 2018 and forward. This is a 318, and this is the top level of the open wheel series at Pirella Motorsports. It's known as Formula Regional Americas, and these cars are compatible with and competitive with other Formula Regional series around the world, where lots of young drivers are going to earn their way up to F3, F2, and ultimately Formula One.
I'm Nicholas Ambiado. I'm racing F4 along. I'm trying to win the championship. The expectations for this year is very big. The last year, I have good results, some podiums, 1 win. I go to the best team, I think it's Kiwi, and just try to win the championship. It's a hard process to drive an F4, FR, next year F3. This is a process. It's very hard. I had a driver for learn a very fast car for a race, but yes, it's a good sensation for test new cars. If the last year I'm driving a Ford, now I'm F3. It's not similar to the car. Do you learn very fast? But it's very nice to racing in different cars for the very high level. The difference for the i4, for the power, it does have turbo, the turbo lag, the downforce, it has more aerodynamic, the end plates have more that to take more faster with the car. But downforce is a very big for power and downforce. It's very big, steep, you know. My first year in Kiwi, the last year I'm going in Bilox. It's a family team for Chile, but Kiwi every time has in the loop because the results, the championship. That's to learn to other teams. Today I'm in Kiwi. For me, it's the best team, the best results. Let's try to win the championship for the best team. You know? I think my mentality is a little one for all. The first lap, one safe, and then in third lap or fourth lap, more aggressive. My mentality, the data is a very good tool for learn the car and the track. But I don't have my mentality, you know. I have all take the if more good for my race, you know.
My name is Nicole Haverda, and I'm racing Formula Regional Americas this year. So obviously primary focus is the F1 Academy, just because it's like so much higher, and that's like the step that I really needed to take to actually like take a next step in my career and stuff. So I'm definitely focusing more on that and just doing good in there. But as well in Formula Regional, obviously want to do good. So this series honestly helped me so much, like just making it budget friendly as well. Like Pirella helped me a lot this year by getting a scholarship. That was a really big thing, the diversity scholarship, because entry fees cost a lot of money, and that helped me a lot. And just having the series around, and it's definitely more budget friendly than most series. Like when you go to USF, it's like crazy budget, as well as like Europe is another level. So obviously the mentality for the season is to win and do good and to podium again, like consistently. I do know that the field is pretty strong just because, you know, they've done TRS and all that kind of stuff, and it's a little hard when I'm coming from like Formula 4 and like back and forth is a lot. Like literally came from China, from the F4 to the F3, and then now I'm going back to Jeddah, tuning the F4, and coming back. It's quite a lot, like back and forth, just because it's so different. Like the braking is just completely different, as well as like the speed. Like I literally yesterday when I first went out in the car, I stepped on it, and I was like, oh. Yeah, it has speed. I forgot about that. Compared to like the Formula 4, it takes a second to go. But just getting used to it. I think the biggest takeaway for this year is just to see how well I adapt to the difference in cars and be able to move quickly. I do know that there's good competition, and like a lot of the guys come from like TRS. They've done TRS in the winter, so they have like that little bit of a boost for this year. But just honestly focusing on myself, that's my biggest thing for this year, is like at the end of the day, just be selfish. I know it's mean, but that's just my thoughts this year.
My name is Titus Sherlock. I race in the FR Americas Championship for Crosslink Motorsports. It's really, I think, one of the best series to come out and try to develop yourself and get wheel to wheel with guys that are very good as well. It's very competitive, so it's a great series to be a part of. Goal is definitely to win the championship this year. Had a rough year last year. I think we should have been definitely closer to the championship than we were, and the goal is definitely to win. There's going to be a lot of fast guys here as well, so it's going to be tough, but that's the goal. Yeah, the split between the teams ultimately doesn't change, my job. I just come here to try to win races and do my best. So everyone I was friends with before, I'm still friends with. Now we can't say as much to each other, like after sessions and stuff, but we're still friends. I guess you could see it as a good in a way. Now that there's kind of, instead of one big powerhouse, there's two teams, and there's actually, this year there's more teams joining as well. So there's a lot of drivers spread between 4 or 5 different teams that are quite competitive. So I think it's a net positive for everybody. My goal is still to win. It doesn't really matter what happens before. I didn't think it happened on race day, so the goal is always to win. And then if that's not possible, do your best and try to score as many points as you can. I believe in myself, and even if there's a tough day or a tough weekend, I know I can bounce back and perform at what I know I'm able to do.
I'm Jet Bowling. I'm 20 years old, and I'm racing Formula Regional Americas with Kiwi Motorsport. Yeah, second year, obviously we're hunting for the championship. We wouldn't be here if we didn't think we could win it, so that's the goal. I think Titus Sherlock, he only finished a 1.5 points behind me last year, and he's here. And I know Bruno Ribeiro, he won some races, and Nico Ambiato won some races last year. So I think, yeah, I had the most points, but I think there's definitely some quick drivers here. So this season I'm trying to be more aggressive. I've always struggled with that. I'm just kind of a nicer guy, I guess. Smile a lot, and it's hard to be mean on track, and you got to push people off here and there, get your elbows out. So I tell myself I'm going to be meaner, but yeah, obviously I want to be mean, but I want to win. But I'm not here to ruin any relationships at the same time. My dream has been endurance racing, whether it's IMSA or WEC, something like that. I love the hypercar racing. I love Le Mans. I love Daytona 24-hour. Those are such cool races to me. It'd be such a blessing to win those. But if I can get in an IndyCar, I'll be just as happy, So I think IndyCar, endurance racing is probably my goal right now. Scott's really good at, the race directing part. He almost acts as a coach just for all of us, just tells us what to expect, what not to expect. When I started first with F4 US, I was really, stressed out, but, his driver's briefings really helped me kind of calm down and, back myself that I know what I'm doing. All the people that go behind this, I know my parents, they're such a big impetus, my coaches, my mechanics, my engineers, I know they travel so far from, whether it's Spain or France or, even if it's down the road from here, they travel so far and they put so much hard work into it. They're working 10, 12-hour days, and I'm the one who gets to have fun driving a car. So, if I can put a smile on their face by doing good, then I'm going to try and do it as hard as I can.
Well, thank you very much. I'm here with Alex Popoff, one of our fastest drivers in the F4 US Championship, currently in third place. And Alex, to be honest, halfway through the season, I thought you'd be a little bit higher there. How are you feeling about this season?
No, I'm feeling good. We've had a really good pace the whole season. We've just gotten really unlucky with a lot of mechanical issues and, just some issues not finishing races, and we've missed out on a bunch of points on things that just were out of our control. And that's racing. Sometimes, can't win them all, but we always try to.
And then but you're still in the championship hunt. Anything can happen, especially in F4, the competition that we have. We're going to some crazy tracks, Barber, CTMP, and it's going to be a great championship. But what are your goals coming out of New Jersey and then going into Canadian Tire?
I mean, our goal here, we have 3 races. It's a really good opportunity to catch up on a lot of points and, try and close that gap, maybe even take over the lead. Who knows? But yeah, just always work hard to win. That's always our goal. We always want to win in everything.
And you're always training, I know that, but you're running a series in Mexico too, is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I did a race over there with Alessandro's Racing. A huge thank you to them for inviting me out, and it was a really great time. I hope to be back soon.
Nice. And we were talking about this, most people think that race car drivers, that's very dangerous to be a race car driver, but you do other things as a hobby as well. Tell us about your free diving.
Yeah, we're pretty much, me and my dad, we're big adrenaline junkies, so we like doing anything that gets our blood pumping. Yeah, I do a lot of free diving. I go down around 100, 115 feet just on a single breath hold, so it's pretty cool. I mean, this definitely does not compare to how dangerous that is.
That's crazy. Well, we've heard here from Alex Popoff, beautiful F4 car, currently third in the championship, but after this weekend, he hopes to be back at the top step. Alex, thank you so much for joining us. Well, thank you. I'm down here with the Formula Regional Americas United States Championship current points leader, Bruno Ribeiro. And Bruno, No added pressure, but after the first practice session at NOLA, the start of the season, I told Ashley Ongst, our PR person, that that's my pick to win the championship. Here you are, a little bit more than midway through the season, first place. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. I know it's a close championship. Everybody's running really close. But yeah, I'm super confident. I'm glad you picked me. But yeah, I'm very happy with the work the team's been doing and that I've been doing as well. So yeah, let's keep it like that.
And I know Kiwi Motorsport, they have a long history here at New Jersey Motorsport Park. And are you able to look and review videos from years past? When you come to a track like this that's so technical that you've never been to, are you able to look at years past and some data?
Yes, I try to look at the years previous. Kiwi makes us do that. They give us all the data from previous years, and we can take a look at that, and it really helps us, especially me, since I'm one of the only rookies here this year, so it really has been helping me, and yeah, we're improving.
Yeah, you haven't done the normal ladder, you know, to kind of start in JFC, to go to F4, to go to FR. I've only known you in FR, so what was your path in Brazil to get you to FR?
Brazil, I did a year of karting and some 1,600 races, but that's about it. My main focus was to race in the U.S. That was always the goal since I started my career. So yeah, that's what I've done in Brazil.
Is there a track on the calendar that you're super excited for, or that you were super excited to go to?
Yeah, the track I'm mostly excited to go to is Barber. I've been there before in an F4. And the track is really beautiful. I love the circuit and the way the track flows. For me, it's the best one. So, yeah, I'm really excited.
Nice. I was surprised to hear that after each one of our weekends, you go back to Brazil. You're not staying over here. You're going back and forth every weekend. That's got to be tiring.
Yeah, it's really tiring. We're looking to change that, though. Maybe in a few months I'll stay here. But, yeah, it's quite challenging, but it's also really fun to go back to Brazil and go home, stay with my family, and also race here in the U.S.
So super competitive championship is the FR championship. Lights go out here, race one. What's your goal?
Well, my goal is always to win races. Try to not think about the championship too much, although that's the goal. But yeah, my main goal when I'm racing is just to win every race I'm on, independent of the situation. Yeah, just keep pushing.
Nice. I love that. A little bit of insight here from our points leader in the Formula Regional Americas United States champion, Bruno Ribeiro, doing really well with Kiwi Motorsport. Keep it up, Bruno. Well, thank you very much. I'm here with Ligier Junior Formula Championship driver Daniel Cará. Trying to say that correctly. He's from the Houston, Texas area, running the Brazilian flag, which I love. But, Daniel, I'm hearing great things about you. You're third in the points, and I know that you've got some big plans for next year, but you've moved into a new shop.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much to Work Hub, our biggest partner here. We just moved into a Houston facility where we operate our team and, of course, are starting our young driver development for next year. So a lot of things looking forward, not only for this year in our championship fight, but, of course, in the future and growing as a very, very successful team.
And speaking of teams here, we've got some huge teams, and a lot of people would think to be competitive in any one of these championships, you've got to go with that. But it's just you, your dad, and your buddy. You're running third. I'd be surprised if you don't win a championship, you know, if good things are happening. So it can be done. And I know that you're going to be growing, and hopefully we're going to see the Cará team being one of the top teams in this. Is that kind of the goal?
Absolutely. As you see across the paddock, and especially in Formula One, huge teams, but this is where it starts. Small team, people you trust, especially my father, my best friend. We work really hard, and that's our goal. We want to represent motorsports. It's possible to do it at the low level, but still be highly competitive if you play your cards right.
Nice. If you play your cards right. So you're third in the points. Let's talk about this. Lights go out. What's your goal here this weekend at Jersey?
Same thing as every weekend. Keep the car clean. We got to bring the car home and carry these points in. We're not going for the wins, but we need to get these points. Of course, as a racing driver, you have that different mindset, but we just look for the long-term goal, expand as a team, and aim for the championship.
Nice. Well, that's Daniel Cará here running with Work Hub. I also have to mention Tenuta, Fopa, and Ambrosi wines there. They're on the side of the car, but thank you so much for staying here with us in the series. Always great to have teams at all levels, but, man, knowing just how fast you are, how great you were in the commentary booth, hope to have you back up in the booth. So watch out for this number 10 car in Ligier JFC, Daniel Cará. We're going to see him on the top steps here this weekend. All right, now for something super cool. And Ralph Shaheen, you should like this. I'm talking to Bill Schwacke, who drives probably my favorite Corvette in vintage racing. I absolutely love these early Corvettes. I grew up in St. Louis, and these have a long history in St. Louis, but just love how you've kept it. And I believe your father first ran it, and then you ran it. So tell us about your beautiful car here, Bill.
Yeah, it's a 1955 Corvette. Dragged it out of a barn. It was in pieces. Used to be a drag racing car. Put it back together, and we've been racing it for 28 years in SVRA. It's been awesome.
That's unbelievable. And just from the vintage side of it, it's got a 327 in it. But this car just looks so good. It sounds amazing. It's running in Group 4. You know, you've gotten to run some of the just marquee tracks with us. I love this car at Watkins Glen. But running such a historic car that's been passed down, that's got to be a total blast.
It's so much fun. And my dad's been here every step of the way. He did most of the work when he put the car together, but ever since then, we've been doing it together. 3, 4, 5 races a year, and we just have an absolute blast.
So 55, very early Corvette. These cars have kind of mixed history with Corvette and Corvette enthusiasts, but now looking back, the Chevrolet Corvette and what it's become, such an icon, and now everybody has to look at this with such a smile.
Absolutely. We're partial to the earlier ones. My dad's a collector and has a few of them, grew up with them and things like that, so it was only natural to race them. So, love the cars. I'm not as partial to the new ones, but, this is fun.
Nice. When you have such a fine automobile as this, we're going to do a walk around with Bill. And my first question is, look at this grill. These are very famous grills, but also, you're racing. So have you ever had to replace anything in here? What's going on there?
We haven't had to replace anything, but the one time we went to Sebring, because it's so bumpy, the radiator actually rubbed against the grill. So if you actually look in there, you can see there's a hole chopped out of it right there at the back where the radiator rubbed up against it. We had to take it out, get it welded and things like that to continue the weekend, but that's the only other time we've had any problems.
That's amazing. So and then I'm sure, with your dad and you trying to keep everything from the Corvette factory is very important, because look here on the side. You just don't see this a lot in race cars anymore, but from a 1955 Corvette, you want to keep all these really nice chrome pieces, everything that's happening, and then just the gauge of the roll bar hoop. And then, Bill, you got to walk us through this interior, because the dash is still a Corvette dash. Hold on, let me get my microphone over to you. So, yeah, walk us through this interior.
Still a Corvette dash, and, it's all original, the trim pieces and things like that. Obviously, it's been modified a bit for racing with the AccuSump and the control gauges and the tack and stuff like that. But, pretty much a stock body, stock interior, and modified for racing with the safety equipment. 4-speed manual Muncie transmission, not from 1955, but solid for racing and kind of bulletproof. So, yeah.
Well, that's unbelievable to keep a Corvette like this in the racing patina. I love these, the 50s kind of flares, and Corvette had a different way of doing the tail wings on this, and I just love that. Back in the kind of like rocket ship days of car design, it seemed like everything was going to rocket ships, and Corvette went right along with that, didn't they?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, it's a very distinctive part of the car, specific to 1953, 54, and 55. In 56, they then went to a different rear end of the car. So, but from the wheels and things like that, it's a stock rear end, 370 rear, drum brakes in the rear. Big Hoosier tires on it. They stick well. I mean, it's great. A lot of fun. So
nice. A lot of fun. 55 Corvette. Ralph Shaheen, we talked to a Corvette guy. You should be super happy about that. Bill, thanks for bringing that out here this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, the Formula cars, there's Formula R, there's Formula F4, right? And you look around the paddock, and we're all we're all in the same garage area, same paddock, I guess they call it. These kids are like 12, 13, 14 years. I mean, they're young driving these open-wheel cars, not real powerful cars, but still they're a proper open-wheel car. And they're just getting their feet wet at an early age, learning big car experience, coming from karts to a rear-engined car. I've driven Skip Barber car, open wheel a couple times. I tested an Indy car one time, but that's basically the extent of open wheel that I've done. But they drive totally different. I mean, the way that with the engine in the back, the way if the car gets loose, you have to go to the gas instead of in a front engine car, you slow down, you just get off the gas, use the brakes. So a lot of different disciplines there as well. But yeah, it's just crazy to me seeing these little kids running around a place like Road Atlanta. We're running, minute 18 laps in a big car, and they're running minute 20, 28, minute 30, minute 32 laps around here. So that's getting after it for being just becoming a teenager.
This is the open wheel ladder system here in the SpeedTour series. We have 3 different classes for drivers to come out of karting and get involved in car racing. The first class we have is what we call the JFC class, and this is the Gen 1 F4 car that we used for many years, and now it's been replaced by the Gen 2 car, which I'll bring you up to speed here in just a second. But this is a monocoque chassis. It's got the Honda K20 engine in it. It's about 160 horsepower. The cars go about 130 miles an hour, and the drivers, if you look inside here, get just like an F1 car or an Indy car. Beautiful seats, steering wheels have all the controls on it, and in the back here you can see that they've got a great wing system that the drivers get to now come out of karting and start to play with wings front and rear. This is a great training car for young drivers coming out of karting, and the nice thing about this is that you can come into this class here at 14 years of age. The really neat thing that I find is that this class is so competitive for all the drivers. They get the training and understanding about situational awareness about cars around them, because these cars are bigger than obviously a kart that they were used to before, and then they have the opportunity then to move into our Gen 2 car. And this is the new F422 Gen 2 car. It's a halo car, so it looks very similar to an F1 car. This car itself has about 180 horsepower, goes about 150 miles an hour. It's an up-to-date car. When I say that, you can just look at the wings that are on the car, and then if you look towards the back here, you can see the up-to-date floor. The aerodynamics of this car are up-to-date and super. It looks like a little Formula One car. The racing in this class here has been superb this year, and these drivers are getting themselves ready to move up to the top class that we have, which is a Formula Regional class. This class here is where drivers finish off in our ladder system, and they either head to Europe or else they go towards the Indy Next Series and then on to the IndyCar Series. And we've got quite a few drivers that have gone through this whole ladder system that we have now that are now competing in the IndyCar Series and also the Indianapolis 500. This car here, again, with the K20 motor and from Honda, this is the turbocharged motor, whereas the original F4 car did not have the turbocharge on it. So this is the 303 horsepower, about 165 mile an hour car. But everything you look on here, very similar to an F1 car. You look at the front wings, the rear wings, the aerodynamics, the tray that we have underneath here with the aerodynamics itself, the downforce on these cars is so similar to what they have to get used to when they start to move up the ladder. It's a terrific training ground car. All 3 of these classes here are what we work on to make sure that these drivers are prepped and ready to get into the next level of racing to continue their career.
When you run it out of luck, need to get unstuck, so go off. When you're up against the wall and you cannot fall, so go off, go off, go off. Go off, so go off, go off, go off. Go off. When you run it out of luck, need to get unstuck, so go off. When you're up against the wall and you cannot fall, so go off, go off, go off. Go off, so go off, go off, go off.
Welcome back, New Jersey Motorsports Park, getting ready for F4 United States Championship. Ralph Shaheen, Ben Sissel with you. Ben, the final run for these guys on this weekend in another intense title fight.
Yeah, it is. And I was down at Grid looking at the cars. There's 2 cars that are going out on stickers. There's one of them, Alex Popoff, and then also Caleb. But then all of the other Crosslink cars, they're on scuffs, but these are scuffs. What they do is they do a couple of laps of qualifying, come in, change the tires, do a couple of more laps in qualifying. So they've got about 3 or 4 laps under them. So it'll be interesting to see what does better. 3-4 lap tires or the sticker hand-cooked tires. We have 7 cars they're going to take. So Cooper Shipman is in the points lead right now in the number 14. He's qualified first. Then Caleb Campbell in the number 68. Kekai Hauanio in the number 29. Clemente Huerta, another one from Santiago, Chile, is qualified 4th. Alex Popoff is 5th in the number 55. And Alex Popoff had a very hard off yesterday, and his team worked long into the night to get that car running again. And he was telling me his steering doesn't feel right. He says it's not bad, but it doesn't feel as it should. So look for him in the number 55. Then Luke Powers in the number 51. And Dimitri Nolan in the number 5 is 7th.
And Shipman, Hauanio, and Popoff were 1, 2, 3 in the points coming into the weekend. And boy, were they tight. Just 19 points between Shipman and Hauanio. And it was a very minimal. Let me find it here.
And this will be a rolling start for the F4 U.S. Championship.
Popoff 19 points out of the championship lead.
Coming to the line slow here, Ralph.
Yep. Green flag is out and we're racing. Headed down to turn number 1. Who's going to get the edge? Looking like the 14 of Shipman on the inside, but swinging wide. Hauanio taking the lead between 1 and 2.
I have no idea how in the world he was able to do that. He just blasted past him, just kind of stayed there in the draft until his time, but that was almost perfectly executed by Hauanio.
I don't think I've seen a car carry more speed into turn 1 and 2 than he did.
Yeah, Caleb Campbell just went 4 wheels off there, driver's left. Yeah, I've never seen that before. That was unbelievable.
That's Campbell right there in the blue and yellow. Shipman holding down second.
Nolan side by side with Popoff there.
And Popoff's going to get the edge. Popoff in the white.
Like I said, though, he coming to Grid without getting any testing laps or anything like that. And he said, oh, got another car off.
Yep, sure do.
That might be Hauanio.
No, doesn't look like Hauanio.
Clemente Huerta.
Yeah, Huerta. Driver out of Santiago, Chile. Kiwi entry. Here comes Hauanio across the line. Shipman giving chase. Here's Popoff looking to get around Campbell. Not going to make that happen yet. Oh, yeah, he will here because Campbell is completely off. Sliding, spinning, stay out of the tires. And he does. Or it's just resting up against it.
Nice job by Caleb to avoid that.
See if he can drive it out of there. There's Hauanio still leading over Shipman, who sits right there with him.
See to close the gap. Shipman, very good driver, and I think that start probably even surprised him. I don't think he was expecting Hauanio to use that slingshot move like he did into 1.
Remember, they're 1 and 2 in the championship with Shipman 6.5 points in front of Hauanio coming into the weekend as the yellow is out. Full course yellow, and we will slow the field down.
Yeah, Caleb Campbell, I don't think was able to refire with the kid's help phone. We spoke about. There he goes. Okay. Looks like I can't tell if that sticker is off on the front end plate or if his wing is messed up. No, he looks good. Good job, Caleb Campbell with the kids' help phone. OC Racing.
The important part, Ben, Speed Sport 1 sticker still good on the car.
That's good. Those look good. Those make you faster.
They do.
So the pace car will be coming in this time. Beautiful Corvette here, New Jersey Motorsports Park. So it's Kekai Hawanio, Shipman, Popoff now into third from fifth to third. Dimitri Nolan, Luke Powers, Huerta. But now watch for Huerta. He's a very fast, good driver. So he's getting what he needs, really, to go off like that. He really needed an early yellow like this.
Yeah.
Get him back into contention. And Campbell, if Campbell can reach the back of this field. Keep heat in those hand-cooked tires. This is the last race for the Formula 4 United States Championship here at New Jersey Motorsports Park. Next round will be at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, which is just a fantastic event, Labor Day, with about 30,000, 35,000 fans there.
Formerly known as Mosport, if you're not familiar with CTMP as the name for it.
Here's Caleb catching up to the rear of the field.
Which was short for motorsport, by the way.
Is it really?
Yeah. Now owned by the legendary Ron Fellows. Part of the ownership group there. Doing what they can to keep the tires warmed as they get ready to go to green. The CA pace car is pulled off. Hawanio gets into the gas. Here they come up the front straightaway, and the green flag is waving, and Kekai snaking down the front stretch, trying to break the draft for Shipman, and Popoff in third. Shipman right up under the rear wing, and Alex right there behind him. Through two, now headed into 3A, 3B, and 3C.
Shipman does not need to win this race for points in championship, but he would like to finish second. Kekai, on the other hand, needs it to finish first, as does Alex Popoff. They're in third. Both of them need to win this race.
Here comes Popoff looking outside. Not yet. Hawanio takes Shipman wide. Popoff sneaks inside. He'll have an advantage here. But Shipman really working well on the outside there, Ben, and he gets back to the inside and hangs on to second for now.
Yeah, I don't know how he was able to do that. That looked really good. Almost like Kekai slowed up enough to keep Popoff from being able to pass Shipman. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Kekai Hawanio. It's very tough in these F4 cars to lead on the restart here and lead after turn one.
Kekai diving to the inside. Shipman right up alongside. Just not good enough on the draft yet.
No, but Popoff following close. I think it's just anything those two could do to collect themselves into one.
Just 0.09 of a second the gap as they cross the line.
This area that we're in right here, 4 to 5, is a very difficult area to do quickly. And we've seen a lot of cars go off there, and setting themselves up for this long straightaway into these long sweeping turns. And we were talking to Bruno Ribeiro after the last race. The turns here at this track are so fast that sometimes you can't, they're not great passing zones because of the aero wash.
Yeah.
So they're trying to set themselves up here, get a good exit, take the apex a little bit differently, get a good exit so that you can set yourself up for maybe drafting through the straightaway and carrying speed into turn one.
You are flat out through all this and under the bridge. Neo not moving too much yet. Going to hold his line this time all the way down the front stretch. Inside of 22 minutes to go.
Shipman looks very smooth on second.
Then win this championship and you get a shot in Formula Regional Americas as we have another car off, and that one's into the tire barrier. That's Campbell, the 68, Caleb Campbell out of Ontario, Canada. LC Racing entry. That should bring out a double yellow.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to get out of that one by himself. And
and I'm guessing the tires are going to need to be moved too.
The ridge of that hill, it's very deceiving because the car gets light. So if you have any extra steering input, so sometimes the car gets light, you don't feel the steering inputs happen. Because the car is light, then when all the weight comes down, you just get thrown into the wall there, basically.
Not many cars get light when I'm sitting in them.
You add downforce, right?
I add downforce, definitely.
All right, so the pace car, safety car is going out.
In the center, though.
You're more of a mid-engine kind of
Yeah,
guy.
well, you put that, help them with the CG there a little bit. Pace car is out, slowing the field down. Look at that, Ben.
That.
About those helicopters.
We didn't plan that. That's nice.
That's a pretty cool view. There's an airport behind the racetrack here. Of course, this was a legendary military base. That's why the tracks are known as Thunderbolt and Lightning.
Very, very frightening.
See what you did there.
Yeah, it's neat to see the history here as you drive in. You can see where they would line up their gun sights right before the airplanes would fly to the European theater. And then it's weird. So here, Sebring, same thing.
Yep.
Sebring with the bombers.
Yep.
Are those Black Hawk helicopters?
I'm not up to speed on my helicopters. I don't think those Black Hawks, but I'm not sure.
So let's regroup. Neo up front, then Shipman, Popoff, Huerta, Powers, Nolan, and then Campbell. And I'm not sure Campbell's going to be able to rejoin going that deep into the tires. But
and of course the clock keeps ticking too, Ben.
The top three in points are the top three, and Huerta is able to get himself back into fourth.
They got a little more cleanup to do over there. Not just getting the car out of there, but fixing the tire barrier. So while they take care of that, we'll take care of some business. We'll try to figure out what kind of helicopters those were, and we will be back for more from New Jersey after this.
In racing, every second counts. Communication isn't just important, it's everything. Established in 1996 in Daytona Beach, Florida, Speedcom Communications was born from a passion for racing and a vision to revolutionize motorsports communication. Trusted by competitors across the world.
Okay, so pretend this is your race car. It's on the trailer, and you have an accident. Ouch! At least your truck's insurance will pay for another one? Yeah, not so fast. Standard insurance won't replace your race car, whether it's in the trailer, in the paddock, in the garage, or the repair shop. But at Hagerty, we can protect it for what it's really worth anytime it's off the track. No matter what or where you race, offer less than a set of race tires. Hagerty, let's drive together.
is this? Look at this view from Losowski.
It brings all my fans, it brings the audience into the car with me.
Speed turn, 140-mile-an-hour entry speeds.
The quickest and most efficient way for me to get information to my drivers is from using the VBox HD2 system.
And get ready for race day with Mission Foods. The world's best racers and tastiest products come together to make every race delicious. Fully loaded tacos, fast wraps, piled high nachos. Whatever you crave, Mission will help you be race ready with easy to make recipes that will take your race day to the finish line. Keep your racing delicious and enjoy all the mouth-watering action. Brought to you by Mission Foods. Too fast, too tasty.
Back here in New Jersey Motorsports Park, NJMP, Caleb Campbell, the reason for the full course caution, went off track, got into the tire barrier.
They will go green this time by. So Huerta, Popoff, this is their chance. The two cars we're seeing in the screen right now. Clemente Huerta had an early off, recovered well, and has worked himself back into fourth. Shipman, just like the FR race, our points leader there in second, may be happy to hold on to that second if he can, if he doesn't have the car. But Kekai and Alex Popoff really need a first place in this race, especially because we're about to have a month break, and you like to have a month break after being on the top step.
Yeah, you'd rather sit back and relax and be at the top for a month off than sitting there stressing every day about what you're going to do.
And Popoff did tell me at Grid that the car isn't feeling 100%. They had to replace a bunch in that car from yesterday, and his steering just isn't where it needs to be.
Poor Alex has just had the worst luck this year, hasn't he? He's been very quick when everything's working right. It's just keeping everything working right that's been the biggest challenge for him.
Yeah. And that happens, and that the bad thing that happens, it doesn't happen just seems like one weekend. It seems like you're going to have bad luck for a little bit.
Yeah.
Look at how pretty the sky is here. Now he's going to slow way down. He's going to try, Shipman, I think, has the advantage, but Kekai, we saw him weaving back and forth, trying to break the draft last start.
Shipman rolls right up behind that rear wing. Can smell the exhaust from there. Here we go. See the green waving. Here comes the field. Kekai moving back and forth. Popoff staying to the bottom, but he's got one inside of him of Huerta. Shipman looking outside, carrying all kinds of speed into one. running out of room down there, and Kekai will lead him through 2.
Yeah, that's a scary move to try to make from the outside, especially if the driver to your driver's right is fast like Kekai was there.
It's scary, but it's probably, if you can get it done, once you get around him with 11.5 minutes to go, you got a good shot of hanging on from there.
It's just so hard. This is one of the only tracks we run where the first 3 corners are all right-handers.
Yeah.
So you're still setting yourself up poorly for each of the next 2 subsequent corners. Where like at Coda, if you take the outside at 1, 2, you're set up for.
Powers just in front of Nolan. They run 5th and 6th. Ben, do you see a spot where Kekai looks like he's stronger than Shipman? They seem pretty even to me.
Yeah, they do, which makes me think Shipman's waiting to pounce.
And it could be here. Here he comes again to the outside. Has he learned anything? He's got an edge. Sticking out there. Putting the pressure on Kekai, new leader.
Wow, that was impressive.
It's tough to do. It takes a lot of courage, a lot of trust in the car. But it can be done. Mustering up the courage to do that is almost harder than doing the pass itself.
Yeah, and I have to commend Kekai for seeing him and not giving it to him.
No,
but also,
him clean.
Giving him room to make him make that pass.
Oh yeah, he was going to have to earn it, and he did.
But the age of these drivers, coming from karting as they have, that's hard to be that disciplined, because he could have just kind of kissed that rear tire to throw Shipman off of balance, but that might have taken both of them out of the race.
Shipman with that win goes 3 in a row. 2 wins in Mid-Ohio and a win here yesterday. Looking to sweep New Jersey as well.
And now he's pulling a pretty big gap on Kekai.
Yeah, he did. It was super close while those 2 were battling with Shipman running in second. And now it's already 7/10 between Cooper and Kekai.
I'm not a good enough driver to know just the tiny little things that add up in a lap to give you that extra 1/10 of a second. But Cooper Shipman seems to be one of those drivers that does know what it takes to just be able to get that 1/10 of a second faster. And it's a lot of people think, oh, it's his entry into this one turn. No, I think on a lap like this, it could be hundreds of things that add up to that 1/10 of a second.
Sure, because you can lose that 1/10 in 100 ways as well, right?
Yeah, and it seems like to get that 1/10 of a second, it might take doing 100 things right, but it could take just doing one thing wrong to lose it.
Hawaniyo second here yesterday. Running second here now in round 10. 8 minutes to go. 7/10 of a second, the gap between Shipman and Hawaniyo. How they finished yesterday, will they repeat that?
Hawaniyo with crosslink running that anywhere transport just seemed to go a little bit too much steering input there coming into 3.
I got to believe if Shipman can win 4 races in a row, mentally that's a huge edge going to the end of the year.
It's also going to raise some eyebrows in the industry.
Oh, no doubt about it.
Because his competition is fierce.
Yep, and everybody knows it. You start becoming a dominant force here, people pay attention.
Yeah, if you're dominating in a field of very good drivers, that'll raise some eyebrows. Shipman, then Alanio and Popoff.
Especially, Ben, when you're able to go in and take a video clip of that pass for the lead, which could be for the win, and send that around to all the team owners in other categories.
Well, he's already on Will Powers' radar because he came to the series recommended by Will Powers to Scott Goodyear.
Yeah.
So he's already kind of raised some industry eyebrows. And I would guess Will Powers is pretty well connected.
Yeah, he can pick the phone up and call just about anybody.
Yeah. When you're having daily meetings with Penske, I think you're pretty good.
Yeah.
Maybe, what do you think, Ralph? About 4 or 5 laps left in this race?
Yeah, they've been running pretty good. Alanio keeps losing time. It's now at 1.1. We'll see what it is this time across the line. But inside of 6 minutes to go. No more yellows. I'd say probably 4 laps.
Now, Popoff having to put that car back together last night. This is probably going to be considered kind of a win for them as well, just because they're going to go into CTMP feeling pretty confident that they have a car under them, and I'm sure they have little things they can fix to be right there. But
well, that's a great way to pay your crew back for a long night.
Yeah,
it's by putting their efforts up on the podium and bring it back in one piece. Yeah, Alanio losing time here, Ben. He's up to 1.3 behind.
Yeah, it just seems like Shipman there on that first right-hander is just a little bit smoother coming through there, not scrubbing off as much speed. The drivers, they're running smooth right now. Nobody seems erratic out there.
No, these are some pretty talented young racers. And they're all pretty fine-tuned at this point. They've been putting in some good hard laps, but those hand-cooked tires seem to be handling it no problem. Don't see anybody getting twitchy out there. How's the gap? He gained a little bit that time. Did Cake High, about 2/10. 4 minutes to go.
Just for me, it looks like Shipman's just a little bit more comfortable. See how his car just isn't twitching through that area like some of the others.
He seems to be incredibly smooth.
And smooth is fast. I've just learned that from watching so much in-car and all the other series.
Oh, yeah.
Smooth is the fast way to go around. It may not be the most entertaining way.
The one thing I've been impressed with Alex, even though he's been dealing with all these issues over the course of the season, which would normally get anybody super frustrated, he has stayed very positive. He comes to the track each and every weekend with a fresh mindset, ready to go, shooting for a win again.
Yeah, his mental game. Being a free diver, you have to have a very strong mental game.
I think that, and the fact that his dad was a former very successful racer as well, he's learned from his dad how to deal with that stuff.
Yeah. And just like in last race, this is an international series. This is the F4 United States Championship, but we have Santiago, Chile. Popoff, who lives in the Miami area, is running the Venezuelan flag. English is his second language. So we do have
Caleb from Ontario, Canada.
Yeah. So we have North and South America, Central America represented in these championships. And it's just because this league here of JFC, F4, FR, we go to some really nice bucket list tracks. So Shipman just holding it down up front.
Inside of 2 minutes.
Looking to see if they're displaying. No white flag yet, Ralph.
No, going again.
I wish I was smart enough to know, Ralph. I wish I could give us the insight that we need to explain why Shipman is, 4 or 5 tenths faster each lap. But it's just such small, microscopic, incremental things that he's doing that the other drivers aren't doing.
Sometimes it's just your year, right? And everything goes your way and flows your way. He seems to have a really good flow. Very smooth, hitting all of his marks. Doesn't make a lot of mistakes. Not big ones, at least. Whether he's chasing or leading. He obviously has a ton of courage.
Yeah.
Made one of the most courageous passes of the weekend by far. And then once he got the pass done, he settled down into a very quick but smooth pace. White flag is out, 1 to go.
I'd say his team gave him a very good car as well.
Well, there's that too, right? And I'll tell you what, Ben, if I was him, boy, I'd be clipping that video and I'd be sending it everywhere. First thing tomorrow. Make sure it was in everybody's inbox. Cooper Shipman on that Kiwi Motorsports entry. Driver out of Austin, Texas. It's going to be 4 wins in a row. Headed to Dakota and VIR. Finally, will be showing up at Barber World, crown champions.
CTMP. CTMP, and then you said Coda.
Oh, yeah, CTMP, VIR, Barber, Coda.
No,
Coda.
they're not going to Coda. Well, they can go to Coda.
But we finished the championship.
The championship is in Barber. Yeah, but they're welcome to race with us in Group 9 at Circuit of the Americas.
3 more race weekends is basically what it comes down to. Multiple events each weekend.
This has been, I've only been with the series maybe 4 or 5 years, but I think this has been my favorite championships.
Here it is. Checkered flag, Cooper Shipman. 4 wins in a row in the F4 U.S. Championship as he takes the victory here in New Jersey Motorsports Park in rounds 9 and 10. What an impressive run, and he does it with the most courageous pass of the weekend around Kekai Hauanio, who finishes 1.2 seconds behind in second place. Popoff third. Huerta holds on for fourth. Powers just in front of Nolan, and then Campbell struggling here with a couple of offs. Ends up 7th, but Shipman will extend the points lead. What an impressive run by that man right there, Cooper Shipman. I would believe that Kiwi Motorsports will do everything they can to hang on to this young driver, because if he does win this championship again, he has a move straight up to the Formula Regional Americas Championship, which of course Kiwi Motorsports is very good in. So I would think they'd find him a seat right away, no problem. Cars making their way around on the cool down lap. Shipman already onto the pit lane. We'll hover overhead with our drone. There he is. He'll shut off the 14, part of that Ganassi Racing Driver Development Program. Chip likes winners, as he always says. And he's got another one here today. I'm sure Chip Ganassi will get a copy of that pass that he made. Might be watching live. If you are, welcome, Chip. Got a good one in the pipeline here. And let's go to Ben, who'll talk to the winner.
All right, down here with Cooper Shipman. Unbelievable. 2 in a row, and something I didn't notice at grid, but you can tell here, just a little bit of tape over here because of the cooler climate and not on the competition. That could have been something, but we were just trying to, in there in the commentator booth, just trying to figure out where you're getting this speed. Unbelievable. One of the bravest passes I've ever seen. How was your race?
Yeah, no, it was an awesome race. You know, the Kiwi Motorsports guys made sure that I had the car to have the pace to win. And I knew that KK and the other guys were firing off pretty good on the short run, so I knew as soon as we got an extended period of green lap running, I was probably going to be pretty good. So yeah, once everybody kind of settled down, I just took my time and then took the lead when I got the chance, and from there I knew I was going to be able to manage.
Nice. Well, manage you did. Nice job. We're about to have a winner celebration here at Victory Circle, hosted by John Phippen. Ralph, I'm going to send it to you, and then we're going to start the festivities.
All right, Ben, thank you very much. That's going to close out the weekend here in New Jersey Motorsports Park. New Jersey Lottery Speed Tour weekend here in Millville, New Jersey. For Ben Sissel, I'm Ralph Shaheen. Thanks for joining us. Hope you've enjoyed our coverage from here in New Jersey. We'll see you in a few weeks from Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. So long, everybody.